Welcome to Miss Martin Muses. Welcome to Miss Martin Muses, where we muse upon what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. Well, this is going to be one that makes me laugh. Here on the Double Pick, we are going to be choosing two sitcoms. And I have here with me from the future, the man himself, the Viking. It is Steve Kenobi.
Hi.
Hi, how's the future going? Are we okay?
We have no future.
Oh, well, that completely.
You know what? That is why we've never had any visitors from the future, because we don't have a future.
Oh shit!
I don't like you right now, Steve.
She's burning you in effigy, and of course, the lovely, the beautiful, the newly engaged Rennie.
Oh, hey guys. It's so exciting to be here. I love talking about stuff that we love talking about. And thank you both for the congratulations. I really appreciate that. And can't wait to talk about fun stuff. Woot woot.
Yeah, things that make us laugh. I'll tell you what, there are so many different sitcoms, and I am just really excited. I've been starring the ones that people in the chat have been saying, because of course, please put your two in the chat, and we will discuss them and look at them at the end. But let's say hello. Well, look, it's Rennie. We have sort of Keeper. We love our polar bears and all of our animals here at Miss Smart Muses. Thank you, OBG7D,
with the best avatar in the chat.
Yes, it's pretty badass. Thank you, Jack Lumen. Thank you for being here. Welcome to Miss Smart Muses. BC, aka the New Dark Shadow. Hello, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Keck. Kelvington is here. Hello, and hello to everyone here for the double pick. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and star that. Thank you. Now that I know how to star chats and see, I learned that the last time Biggles told me how to do it. So I don't have to have you all wait. You can just put them in there, and then I will be able to go back to them at the end of the chat. Well, we are picking two sitcoms. Now, these are not necessarily our favorite sitcoms. These are just the ones that are chosen. And we really do enjoy sharing these sitcoms, and hopefully maybe you might hear one that you haven't ever seen before, and it might give you a chance to watch it, because here at Miss Smart Muses, we like focusing on, well, what makes us happy and
makes us cry and makes us angry and ticks us off.
Oh, well, that too. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's my whole phrase. No, but you know what I'm saying is that the entertainment right now sucks big time. We all know that, except for Cobra Kai. Yes. And so these are things to go back to. These are things, just look backwards and find some of these awesome things. And most of these you can find on streaming services and the like. Now, Steve Kenobi, he won the dice roll. And so
by using a Jedi trick. Dice. Like Liam Neeson taught me that.
Oh dear.
Well, that's amazing. The fact that it works all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. That is amazing.
Yeah, it's precise.
All right, Steve, what is your first sitcom? What is your first pick?
My first chosen sitcom of this episode is none other than That 70s Show.
Oh.
Well, don't cheer too loudly.
Sorry, I thought you were going to choose the other one first, so now I've got to type up the banner. Okay, That 70s Show.
No, yeah. I actually really liked it to the last, like, 1 or 2 seasons whenever they changed out some of the characters. But, yeah, Red Foreman always cracked me up, man.
Yeah. Red Foreman was supposed to be played by Chuck Norris. Oh. But it didn't work out. Yeah. So they cast the villain from RoboCop instead.
Well, I'll be darned. Well, tell us about it. Tell us about That 70s Show, Steve.
Well, it's set in the 70s. It's a sitcom, kind of like, well, it's not like Friends, but it kind of is. Because it has the same relationship things that Friends has. You know, this and that person is in a relationship, and then there's jealousy, and then it switches around, right?
Yeah, except
But
for
other
they're
than that,
like
it's
10 years younger, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Topher
sense.
Grace is great in it. Um, what's his name? Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis made their fame through that show.
Ah,
Yeah.
before he got
Um,
snatched up by Demi Moore.
yeah, but now he's with Mila Kunis again.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well, I'll be
aren't they
darned.
married with kids or no?
Yeah, I think they had a kid, and
Yeah.
they mentioned that they didn't wash him. Well, something like that. It was an outrage a while back.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow. Well, okay, so they've got all these different relationships and stuff. What particularly made you laugh about the 70s show?
Not much. I don't laugh that much while watching sitcoms, but I enjoyed it. I found it amusing and entertaining, especially Red Foreman, because he is a man after my own heart. Because kids and teenagers and all that are, in fact, dumbasses.
Yeah.
And they do need a foot up their ass. But the problem is today, you can't say that and you can't do that because those fucking weirdos probably like it.
Oh
They probably
no.
do anime artwork of it.
Oh,
So, yeah, it just doesn't work anymore.
You know, I really
Oh, my
liked Tommy Chong's role on that show. He cracked me up. What was his name? Leo?
I think it was Leo. Yeah, he was
Yeah.
not all there.
Yeah.
Oh my
It,
gosh.
it, it it's kind of weird. Tommy Chong is a white man, and his last name is Chong, and his daughter is black.
Yeah. Ray Don Chong.
Yeah, she was on Commando. The one you saw that Teresa. She blew up the phone booth by
Oh,
holding the
yes.
bazooka the wrong way.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's kind of odd, isn't it? It's like every SJW's wet dream, really.
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna say, you talk about some serious diversity. Absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, Red Foreman is the better one in my opinion. He's and the neighbor. What's his name? He looks like
Oh, Bob.
yeah, Starsky and Hutch. He looks like a fat Starsky.
Yeah. I can see that.
He is awesome, and
But
he's
he was
married
such
to
a
a
ditz.
he's married to a Bond. He's married to Tanya Roberts, who's a Bond girl.
Ooh.
You know, she was in A View to a Kill.
Oh, that's right. That's my favorite Bond movie. I should have known that.
Yeah, it was Roger Moore's last Bond movie, and Dolph Lundgren's first on-screen appearance.
Ooh, I love him. Yeah. Jack Lumen says that 70s show was lightning in a bottle. Unfortunately, that 80s show was absolutely not.
Oh,
They are
yeah.
rebooting it with that 90s show now.
Oh dear.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I think it's Netflix that's doing it.
Because that 80s show wasn't great. What makes them think that 90s show is going to be any good?
They're using the 70s show cast.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Maybe when they're parents of their kids, or I don't know.
Yeah, Red Foreman's probably going to be a grandfather or something. I don't know.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
But it's the 70s show is very, very rewatchable. You can just put it on in the background and watch it now and again. A few episodes, easily bingeable, actually.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, a confession. I never really watched that 70s show at all.
Really?
Well,
No.
It's not like it's something you must watch, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sitcom. It's not the best ever made, and it's not the worst ever made either.
Yeah. Well, maybe I'll give it a go. It was a little bit after my time.
I think...
The 70s was after your time?
No. No, not the 70s. No, the sitcom.
Well, they do play, I want to say they play reruns of it on TBS or TNT.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes I just have it on in the background as I'm doing stuff around the place. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot how funny this show was from time to time, you know?
Okay, well, maybe I'll give it a go. Yeah. Well, and we've got more people coming in. We have Brazil representing Timon is here. Zakrot 315 is here. Dan Blackroyd, all the way from Dan Blackroyd land. And so thank you for coming in. He says, Red is by far the best character.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times he's said dumbass, but it never gets old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he means it when he says it too. And he's right to say it every time as well. It is justified.
Well, I can agree because the world is full of dumbasses and they all need to.
And you know
die.
what? Eric Foreman's basement is awesome. That couch looks fantastic. I want one of those.
Oh.
And Eric Foreman's bedroom too. You see it sometimes. It's very 80s and 70s.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. His bedroom's cool.
He has like shelves behind the bed, I noticed, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, then I'll look at that. I'll look at that couch. Your birthday's coming up.
And there was something.
Couch. Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
It was let's see, Eric Foreman's bedroom was used in another show.
Really?
Yes. I will look it up.
Okay, while you do, we have Tyrone Beard here. Congratulations, Tyrone. He's, of course, saying hello, you sexy people, or say good day to you all, you sexy people. And the sexiest Rennie, great to see you all. Yes. Yeah. And as we said, congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you all by chance know any dates, or is that giving away any?
Not yet. Nothing's firmed up just yet, but yes, we're working on that.
Cool. Excellent. Okay, Tyrone says, easy mate, I'm not ready for any swap party. Yeah, no, I'm never into any of those.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, thank you. All right, so while Steve is looking at that, Jack Lumen says, does chat remember when Red and Kitty wound up not knowing going to a wife swap party? Okay, was that?
Oh yeah,
like they went to a swingers party by mistake. Well, they didn't realize it was a swingers party.
Oh, oops.
I think Red mentioned the word dumbass.
Oh my.
You know, it was just something about like when he looked, like the way he looked and like his tone of voice and just like he just like pulled it off so well, you know?
Yeah. Well, I'll need to check that out. Yeah. And as y'all are coming, don't forget to put your double pick in the chat and I will start and address them at the end of the show. Well, okay. Anything else that you want to say, Steve, about that 70s show before we move on to Rennie's pick?
No, it was great until Topher Grace left the show, because then they tried to replace him with some other weirdo. It didn't work.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh. Well, okay then. Well, cool. Well, everyone, if you have not, check out that 70s show. Now we're going to move on to Rennie. What is your first pick of the double pick tonight?
Mine is Seinfeld. The show about nothing that has a lot to say about everything. And you know, I learned some valuable lessons like shrinkage and you know, I mean,
it's a thing. It's completely natural. There's no shame in that.
You know, I've heard that from a few different guys.
Yeah.
It
happens in the water.
Well, and it's really cold in Norway right now.
I'm not in the water right now, so no, I'm not shrinking by any means.
You get frostbite in Norway. I mean, it'd be like not antifreeze, you know, that dry ice thing, and then if you smash it into a wall, it'd break right off. I mean,
yeah, it's like, sorry, madam, I don't have an erection. I'm just frozen.
And it's so funny in the episode whenever you know, George gets seen after, it's shrinking. And, they were like, surely women know about this. And they try to ask Elaine, do you know about shrinkage? She's like, you mean like laundry? They're like, no.
And poor Laura walks right in right when we're talking about this.
I'm sorry, OG, please don't hate me.
Yeah, oh boy. Well, the more you know. Anyone that goes swimming enough and is male will experience it.
Yeah.
Right.
And bathtub too. When the bathwater gets a bit colder.
Well, you got to get out before it gets cold.
Yeah, when it gets but you get out because it's cold, not because stuff is shrinking.
Well, the
Like,
more you know.
Mom, I'm shrinking.
Oh gosh, no. Oh no. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't even read that.
I just,
Okay.
It is
like
like
your
a
eyes.
turtle.
It is like a turtle?
Yeah.
Okay.
like a frightened turtle.
Yeah, and then when it's back to normal, it goes cowbunga.
Oh my God.
Dead Man Walking. Welcome to Miss Smart Muses.
Oh, we knew something was going to happen.
Wow.
But yeah, I got my fiance interest or back into the show because he was telling me, like, I think it was about a couple months ago. He was like, I really hate Seinfeld and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, we need to watch it and you need to understand why this show is funny. And so the first episode that I had him watch with me was the one where it's called The Outing, where George and Jerry get mistaken for a couple.
Oh.
And they're not gay, but not like there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, not there's anything wrong with that.
And it was so funny because no matter what they did, the more they opened their mouth, the more like a couple they looked. And I just like freaking died laughing. He died laughing. He's like, oh my gosh, I never realized how funny this show was. I must have just seen a couple of duds, or maybe it just wasn't relatable, when I was a kid. And I was like, I don't know, dude, but you got to get into the show. This is a great show. And yes, there are things that aren't relevant because, we have cell phones now, but like the points of views and the humor is still there. Like the whole, I don't want to say the word, but the soup guy, like, still cracks me up. The no soup for you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Soup Yopsy.
You know who's the best, though? The
Who?
best character in the whole damn show? George's dad.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Jerry Stiller is so freaking
yeah.
hilarious. You want a piece of me? You got it. He tries to fist fight Elaine.
Have you seen the blooper reel for that?
No. Oh,
No.
yes, I actually
Yeah,
have.
she breaks down every damn time he starts screaming at her. She's like, I think she even collapses onto the floor.
Oh my gosh. Well, think about all the things that we got from Seinfeld, and that's from his dad, like this Festivus for the rest of us.
Yes. Oh my God, Festivus is hilarious.
And you're gonna hear about it.
I got some problems with you
tell
people.
you can tell why George has no self-confidence.
Oh yeah.
Because his mom and dad has destroyed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and remember when he and Kramer were coming up with the bro?
Yes. No, it's man's ear. Bro, man's ear.
Yeah.
I think George Costanza was based off of Larry David.
Yes. Yes, he was. I've seen Larry David mention that, and then they said that Kramer was based off of his neighbor.
Yeah.
And I think the guy tried to get some money out of him. I can't remember, but yeah, he said Kramer was based off of Larry David's neighbor, and it's just pretty funny because could you imagine if they tried to do a show like that today? I don't think they could do it. Number one, and number two, like who could compare to the roles?
And all the characters are white.
Yeah.
So it would be canceled just because of that.
Exactly.
Well, tell you something
you couldn't talk about stuff like that now.
Yeah. Well, remember, okay, this show also taught me the proper pronunciation of a certain part of a female.
Dolores.
Yes, exactly. I mean, I'm just saying. Now I know exactly. That's how I learned how to pronounce it absolutely correctly.
The clitoris?
Yes.
But that's how you pronounce it, correct?
Yes, it is how you pronounce it because it was it rhymed with Dolores.
Mm.
And he
Because she kept
couldn't.
saying her name rhymed with a female body part, and Jerry's like, I can't remember her name. And he's like, oh. And he remembers
Then he
her name
finally
at the
goes,
end.
Dolores. Yeah. Well, and I also like the marine biologist.
You know what?
Oh my
you know what?
God.
You know what would be fun though? If her last name was Hunt.
Oh, dear.
Oh no. Oh yeah,
Oh my God.
Regina.
But then she would really get screwed, right?
Big time.
Oh gosh, screwed. Oh gosh, yeah. No, but remember, he was pretending he was a marine biologist to impress his girlfriend, and then this whale like washes up, and someone yells,
Yeah.
"Is there a marine biologist here?" And it
She's
turns
like,
out
go
it
on,
was
George.
yeah, and it was a golf ball that because Kramer was always hitting golf balls into the ocean.
So great.
Yeah, and he just at the end he just pulls it out and stares at him.
I said, ease up, big fella. I just love that episode. It's so funny.
Yeah. And he's like, at that moment, I was a marine biologist.
You want to hear something that something really messed up?
Sure.
My middle name translates to Newman, and
Hello, Newman.
Seinfeld aired when people figured that out.
Uh-oh.
So the people from my class back in the day, old friends, they still say Newman.
Do they really?
I don't
That's
know.
so funny.
Yeah, and here's the thing: I was at a party once 10 years ago, and this tall, good-looking blonde walks over to me and says, "How you doing, Newman?" I'm like, "Who are you?" And it turns out it's one of my friend's little sister, and I hadn't seen her since she was like 4.
Oh, wow.
But even that bitch calls me Newman. Because probably the whole family does.
Dude, I would crack up when his parents would come to visit, and even the mom, she's like, hello, Newman.
Yep.
Even his parents did it.
Oh gosh. Well, I'm sorry about that, Steve. I mean, bad luck. I think I know what it translates to.
I don't mind, but yeah, it just new and man, so Newman.
Yep.
So
that's funny.
Well, there you go. You see, it really.
Yeah, I have Seinfeld trivia.
Ooh.
Yeah, I just said it. It's the Newman bit.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I was like, there's more?
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I already said it.
Awkward pause. Okay. Well, and another thing that is part of our parlance today is yada yada yada. That comes from Seinfeld.
Oh my gosh, yes. And never eat junior mints when you're watching a surgery.
Yeah.
Not a good idea. Just, we learned that from Seinfeld as well. But yeah, there's just so much to say about that show, but it really was one of the funniest shows ever. And rewatching it again recently, because I kind of have the seasons, but it just, especially with someone who's kind of, I guess, new to it or refreshing to it, it's kind of fun because, hearing, his enjoyment for seeing the episodes for the first time or not realizing, how great of a show it is, makes it a lot more fun and a lot more enjoyable for me. But
also, Mandelbaum, they're awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes.
The competitive family with Lloyd Bridges, I believe it was.
Yes, that was so awesome. You think you're better than me?
Yeah, just wanted to compete at everything.
Yes. Oh, you think you're the world's number one dad? So great. Just so many good things, you can't remember them all, and it's just
Kramer at the karate thing.
Kicking
that's
crap
kind of
out
like
kids.
what's happening to women's sports these days, to be honest.
Oh my gosh, yes.
True.
So true.
Oh my gosh. Well, and George, he killed his wife because of all those. Oh no, his
Envelopes.
fiance. Yeah, the envelope. She licked him so much that she poisoned herself, and he was like trying not to smirk because he was trying to get out of the wedding. and
Yeah.
Do, do you know why that happened?
'Cause-
The actors couldn't stand working with her,
Really?
and it was not because she was bitchy or anything like that. It was just because they didn't have chemistry.
Oh,
So scenes and stuff that they would have to do it over and over again because they just didn't mix.
Oh,
And
that's
I
awful.
saw an interview with Jason Alexander said it. He said the lady was awesome and all that, but they just didn't function in scenes.
huh.
Well,
Well,
that's
dang.
terrible.
So they killed her.
With
Well, I mean, that-
cheap glue.
Yeah. Well, oh, and welcome, Shane. Thank you from the Emerald Isle. Thank you for popping in. Tyrone says, "Wow, I never knew that, Stieg. Good to see you, bro." Well,
Likewise, good to see you as well.
there we are. Well,
Even though I don't see you, but you're there in text form.
Oh, gosh. Red shirt alert. Because of herself, maybe.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, and
Yeah.
the other part with Kramer I loved was when he was trying to sneak in coffee into the cinema.
Oh my God, in his pants.
and it spilled, and he's like falling all over the place and yelling. And
Oh, and Poppy pissed on the couch.
Oh yeah.
You know, the guy who plays Poppy played Dirty Harry's first partner in the Dirty
He
Harry
has
movies.
the same first name as me. His name's Rennie Santoni.
oh,
Yeah.
Bobby does.
Also
Mhm.
played the partner in Cobra, which Teresa just watched.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who
Yeah.
wanted the gummy bears.
Yes. Yeah, Stieg has a list of 80s movies I'm going through, so.
Yeah, and she's watching them in Blu-ray, so she's gonna get ADHD.
Most I am not watching on Blu-ray. The Lethal Weapons one I am, because I've never seen Lethal Weapon 3 and 4, so.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
wow.
That's
Really?
just that's a disgrace.
I love I don't know. There's something about Lethal Weapon 3. I want to say it's maybe my favorite. It cracks me up, especially when Joe Pesci goes to the hospital.
I watched Lethal Weapon for the first time with a friend because we went to a video store here in the city. We grew up on the countryside on an island nearby, and we were at a video store, and we had been watching Lethal Weapon 1 and 2 to death.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he's like, "Look, Lethal Weapon 3," and we didn't know there was a Lethal Weapon 3 coming out, right? Because we didn't have the internet back then.
Yeah, you'd be surprised by those things.
And he was like, "Mom," you know, and she bought the movie for him.
Oh.
And we went back and watched it at his place immediately. And then his brother comes home with some brand new Amiga 500 games that he'd copied from friends. And he had a Lethal Weapon video game.
Ooh.
And it is awesome. It's actually aged well, too. It's fantastic. Great soundtrack. Rihanna ripped it off, actually.
Oh,
Mm.
well, yeah.
She stole the music from an Amiga game.
Well, that wouldn't surprise me. The way things are nowadays.
So
well,
yeah, that was a great day of Lethal Weapon.
aw.
The
Well,
video game and the movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna be probably going over the Lethal Weapon movies on one of my other streams sometime soon, but I want to see the rest of them before we do.
You know what you could do? You could do it for the pick 3 thing, but then like, let's pick 3, and then you put a parenthesis with a 4 in it.
You heard it here first. You heard it here first. All right. Well, I'm going to say my first choice. My first choice is Where Everybody Knows Your Name. And they're always glad you came. I love Cheers.
Sounds like an ad for a whorehouse, really.
Troubles are all the same. You are heartless, Steve. Heartless. I am going to pretend I did not hear that.
That would be cool though if there was like a whorehouse that was closed due to COVID, and there's a sign outside that says "Beat it, we're closed."
No, I mean, understand that this is the quintessential fudge. I need a Norwegian to pronounce
Quint
English for me.
quintessential.
Oh, there you go. Quintessential.
Yeah.
I said it almost the same time. 80s sitcom, and it spanned the entire 80s. It was fun because I was something of a little girl when it started, and by the time it was over, I was in college. So I kind of grew up into some maturity of comedy with it, and it was like where everybody knows your name. These people were familiar. They were like your friends, and Norm walking in and everyone going Norm, and you know oh, and I remember when the coach died, because he died in real life, the original bartender guy, and he passed away of a heart attack. And you felt like you were kind of losing someone that you're familiar with, again, someone that everyone knows your name. And then they were able in the show to survive so many casting changes and revolving doors, and they just did a great job. They lost, well, Coach to the tragic heart attack, and brought in Woody Harrelson. That's where we get Woody Harrelson from. They got rid of Diane. She went off to be movie Shelley Long. And
oh yeah, she got big headed, and
Mhm.
basically, literally, they wanted the bitch gone. All of them.
Yeah. And she did, and she wanted. Then she went out to be in movies or whatever, and they brought in
three of them, and then her career was over.
Precisely, and then they brought in Kirstie Alley, which was an amazing actress, an amazing replacement for her. And they had Frasier, and he ended up growing into a character of his own, and then his wife Lilith. And
actually, Frasier was better than Cheers.
Yes. Objectively speaking, it was. And that's the Frasier spinoff. I think it's like the best spinoff ever of any TV show, and it's one of the most honored ones, the award winning, and it was an amazing show. But it was different. They didn't try to recreate it, because what Cheers was again this family away from home. And one of the things that I just loved was not just the way they would have always yell Norm, but Norm was always in his seat. And there was even an episode where he shows up and someone was sitting in his seat, and he was like triggered, and he was like, what are you doing here? And they're like, we're sitting here. And he's like, but couldn't you go sit somewhere else? They're like, well, there's lots of tables around. And then they do a ruse where he falls over like he's hurt, and everyone runs over, and then he slips into his chair. Just things like that. And he always had a beer.
Yeah, he had an ongoing tab, right?
Yeah.
Oh, here's another fun fact. I was watching, the making of Cheers.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the show, the final season, everyone was fed up. They were basically tired of the show.
Yeah.
Because it had gone on for too long. And the guy who plays Norm said that quite often in that season, you'll see, Sam fiddling with a bill or something, or Norm or Cliff are fiddling with a napkin. They're reading their lines.
Oh my gosh!
From the napkin and the bills and what have you, because they didn't have the energy anymore, or the motivation.
Yeah. Well,
so they're literally sitting there reading their lines.
It went on for 11 seasons. That's a very long time, and many of them
22 episodes at least per season.
Yeah.
As well. That's it's 11 years.
Yeah. Yeah, they were done with it, and many of them had careers that had taken off as well, movie careers, and ones that were actually successful.
Yeah. OBG70 asked, "What's Norm's wife?" What's Norm's wife's name? Don't cheat. I know what it is. It is
What is?
Vera.
And we never actually see her.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no. Book of Soul Assassin, Christy Alley. She was a star in her own right, but this was the first comedy that Kirstie Alley did. She was in what is it, Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. She starred in North and South, Book 1 and 2, and then she became a household name with Cheers and got into comedy.
She was freaking gorgeous.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was really pretty. And the sad thing is she wound up being more successful than Shelley Long when Shelley Long got a big head and left the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Shelley Long got a big head. Kirstie Alley got big tits.
Yeah, North and South. Maybe I'll talk about North and South someday because I've got a lot of stories about North and South.
North and South was a superb show.
Absolutely. It was amazing and incredibly historically accurate. But that's for another day, because if I start talking about the Civil War and the North and South, we'll definitely be moving somewhere else. But yeah, Kirstie Alley was amazing in that. So yeah, what can I say? It's just everything about it was familiar and lovely, and you could go back and watch these episodes, and you almost want to pull up a stool and hang out, and I thought it was a really good ending for the final episode, where Norm is like, "Well, you're always going to come back to the lady you love," and he's like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "Think about it," and then Sam kind of looks around and kind of realizes he's talking about the bar, and then he says, "I'm the luckiest son of a bitch alive." It's a great ending. And a little bit of trivia. He goes and straightens up this picture of Geronimo in that final scene, too, before he goes off and says, the bar's closed when some dude comes by. That picture of Geronimo was from the actor who played Coach. He used to have it in his dressing room. And when he passed, they moved it to the bar, and then he straightens it up as an homage to the actor, the one who had passed. So
that's really nice.
I know, they're so nice. It was so great. So that's Cheers. That is my first pick of the double pick.
So it is true, Geronimo was framed.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, Stig.
Oh, come on. That was an okay pun.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we go back to the Viking, going back to Stig. What is your second pick of the double pick?
My second pick is the best sitcom ever made. It is an English sitcom called Allo Allo.
Yay!
It ran for most of the 80s. And at one point, it was the most viewed show in the world. And I don't think it was shown in the US, oddly enough. But it might be because there was half the cast were playing German officers during World War II.
Yeah, they were playing Yahtzees. I think they did eventually end up showing it, but yeah, it was.
Yeah. They had pitched it to German TV channels, and they had people over to watch it, and the Germans that were sent over started crying when they saw it, and they were like, "Shit, we've offended the heck out of them." And it turned out they weren't crying because of that. They were crying because they would not be allowed to show it in Germany.
Oh.
And they loved it. Yeah, it's basically a small village where there's a cafe in Germany, German-occupied France. And they are trying to get rid of some British airmen who have fallen down on... They've been shot down over France. So You have the French Resistance, which is all women for some reason in Macintoshes.
Yeah.
You have a Gestapo officer who is very much based on the Gestapo officer from Indiana Jones 1, because that's who they based him on.
Yeah.
Probably the best character in the show. You have a couple of German officers trying to keep safe a painting, a precious painting that they have stolen to sell after the war. The painting is The Fallen Madonna with the Big Boobies by Van Klump.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
And fun fact, someone bought that painting from the show. So some rich fellow did. And lo and behold, someone stole it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, but it's a fantastic show. It's available on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Yes, Steve got me
Um,
into it, and that's how I've been able to see it. I must admit, I die laughing, and I don't know if it's wrong that I'm laughing because they were Nazis. Okay, they were
yeah.
horrible people, but it's funny, and
The ones on the show aren't Nazis. They're German soldiers.
yeah. Well, the only
You
Nazi
know.
one was the Gestapo guy, and they're all afraid of the Gestapo guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it's and they have all these insane schemes to try and get the Englishmen back across the English Channel.
Yeah.
You know, and sometimes they have to blow up a German train, and they had to hide nitroglycerin in the cafe. Everything has to go through the cafe, and Edith, the cafe owner's wife, accidentally fed nitroglycerin to the chicken.
Yeah,
Oh
that was
dear.
the
So
funniest part.
they exploded while laying eggs, and all of them died except for the rooster who walked out of the ruins. And the cafe owner went, "That there is a living legend."
Yes, that was one of the funniest parts. I died because they go out to try to save the chickens, and all you see are just boom, and just feathers are flying everywhere as each one of them explodes.
Yeah, and he is. This show would get canceled today
Oh yeah,
because he has two waitresses and he is renting them out to the Germans
Oh dear.
as hookers, and in return he gets paraffin and butter
yeah,
because there's a shortage of that.
yeah. And there's
So
also a gay Nazi.
yeah, also one of the best characters on the show.
Yeah, and and obviously, he's a Nazi, so yeah, he's definitely in the
Yeah,
closet.
yeah. There's I have one of the clips on my channel where Rene, the cafe owner, is told that someone is going to be some resistance person is going to show up in disguise and ask if he has matches. And then the gay Nazi guy walks up and asks, "Hey, do you have matches?" He's just asking for real. It's not code, right?
Yeah.
And Rene leans close and goes, "Are you one of them?" And the gay guy goes, "It was lonely at the Russian front."
Yes. And it
There's
was
a
pretty
hell
funny.
of a lot of innuendo.
Yeah, and the gay guy falls in love with Renee. Well, and someone was it Shane that said everyone loves Renee. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like even though
absolutely
he's
everyone.
ugly. He's ugly. He's not a good looking guy at all.
He almost died before season 7.
Oh.
He was in Australia, I believe, and there was hang on, yeah, Gordon Kay, who was gay in real life actually and plays a womanizer on the show. He was almost fatally injured in an accident during the Burns Day storm of January 25th and 26th in 1990, which I think was in Australia. A piece of wood flew through the windscreen of his car and penetrated his skull,
Holy
Oh.
crap.
leaving a large scar on his forehead, which you can see in season 7 and onwards. And the actor said in an interview he has no recollection of any of it.
Yeah.
So basically, his head got impaled and he survived.
Now that man is a living legend.
Well, actually, he's dead now, though.
Well, yeah, he's dead now, but yeah.
So he's a
Oh
legend.
my god.
Oh my gosh. That's your fiance, okay?
I know.
He says, Tyrone says, a dingo ate my gay actor. Okay. And speaking of which, we have an elf in the house.
Act-
No, not a gay actor. I mean, speaking of your fiance and all that, Lady Toriel, we have an elf in the house. It is Lady Toriel, who says, Tyrone, hello, and congratulations. You found a fantastic woman.
Oh, she's so
Really?
sweet.
Was
Thank
she
you.
hiding?
Oh, shut up.
Was she under the table, perhaps?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Thank you, Book of Soul Assassin. He put the link in the chat to the Connect, if you please. Yeah, I watched that episode with my dad, and my dad nearly died. He was roaring. But we've had a tough time watching it some more because my mom's just sitting there going, this isn't funny. Why are you all laughing? What's wrong with you? So we have to watch it when she's not around.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's
You know, I've never seen it. I don't know if it's because we just didn't have it here, because I've seen stuff like Faulty Towers and Monty Python and the
Oh.
like, and Mr. Bean, but
this is
never
like
this show.
Blackadder mixed with Seinfeld.
Oh wow.
Yeah, with some
I would say,
Yahtzees thrown in, yeah.
because it's very farce like.
Wow.
Well, and
Yeah.
then there's like a secretary who's dating the Gestapo guy, and he's like, we're gonna have dinner at 7. She says, I'll be early, and he screams at her, no, you will be exactly on time. No early and no later. And
Yeah, he's very strict,
yeah.
and that makes her horny.
Yeah, so it's incredible. Yeah, I could, on so many different levels, I can see why maybe it took a while for it to come to America, if at all. It may not have ever made it to America. But yeah, you can see it on Amazon Prime if you have the Amazon Prime. Yeah. It is definitely worth it.
If you like Faulty Towers as well, you
Yeah.
will like this show. Definitely you will.
Okay, cool.
And watch it with your fiance. Give it 5 episodes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very clever. It is the acting talent of them is really good because it's like watching a stage show. You could tell they just did like 1 or 2 takes, and they did a great job. And sometimes there'll like be a mistake, like a chair will fall over, and they'll just keep acting around it. An incredibly talented cast.
There's one scene where the Gestapo guy gets hit by a pile of dirt because they blow up a casket.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
you have to watch
and
it. It's funny.
you can see the secretary lady just lose it in the background.
Loses her crap. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's funny. Yeah. It's very, very good. Very, very good. All right. Any last thoughts about Hello before we continue?
It's a 10 out of 10. That show. It really is.
There you go. Yes.
Absolutely.
And one of these days when I finish it up, we're probably going to do a stream just about it. And I think Lady Toriel, she's been watching it as well. So
I think she's watched the whole damn thing now.
Dang. She's fast.
Yeah.
She's a beast.
I know, man. She tackles like books and shows like nobody's business. Like, go girl.
Well, okay. Well, I'm really behind then. It's hard enough trying to keep up with her with the books. So that's awesome. Yeah. So go see it. Go see it if you haven't. You will laugh. I guarantee you. Next, it is Rennie's second choice. It is Rennie's second pick. What is it, Rennie?
Big surprise, I'm sure. But my second pick for today is Friends. So I really love that show because of all the funny situations. I know you're probably not going to be surprised, but Joey was my favorite character.
Yay.
I loved, was it season 4 when Monica and Chandler got together? I thought that was great. I didn't really care for Rachel except for what she brought comically to the show, but I did love Phoebe. Mm-hmm. But I do identify with Monica quite a bit. Um, just saying, I'm a woman that knows what she wants, and things have to be a certain way, whenever it comes to certain things, but not everything. But yeah, it always cracked me up because, you know, I don't feel like I was one of those people where like, this is me and my friends, but I just loved the camaraderie and like the warmth of the show as well as the humor that it brought to it. Um, Matt LeBlanc was a great actor, and I know a lot of people like David Schwimmer, and he wasn't my favorite, like AKA Ross.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the dynamic between all six of them made the show what it was. And you could take any two or three characters, mix them up. It didn't matter. They still interacted. It was still funny. It was still good stuff. And I just
Do you know what Courtney Cox's first on-screen uh, performance was?
Yes.
the Bruce Springsteen video, right?
Yes,
Dancing in the Dark.
correct.
Woo! That's it. I knew.
Mhm.
I remember reading that somewhere a long time ago, and I watched the video whenever I saw it, or I either read it or I saw it on a show. And I watched the video, and I was like, "Oh my god, I can't believe that's her!"
Yeah.
And what's her name? Jennifer Aniston was in Leprechaun, and she has a longer nose in it, so she had a nose job before Friends.
Oh yeah.
I don't doubt it because
Big
she has
time.
openly admitted that she's had a nose job because
Yeah.
you could kind of tell,
Yeah.
Yeah, she's of Greek heritage. Her father was on my soap opera Days of Our Lives.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So. Mhm.
Courtney Cox was on Masters of the Universe as well, the He-Man movie.
Mhm.
The one with Dolph Lundgren?
Yep.
I don't remember that.
Yeah.
I guess
It's not
that
a
my main
memorable
focus was
movie.
He-Man.
Yeah, you know,
But
Yeah.
yeah.
women like him. But yeah,
Well,
Courtney
maybe.
Cox was in it.
Yeah, she was also in what do you call
Ace
it?
Ventura.
No, yeah, Ace Ventura, and gosh darn it, my brain just went right out of my
Scream?
head. Family Ties. Family Ties. She was a girlfriend of Michael J. Fox's character, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh,
what's her
wow.
name? Shawnee from Baywatch was on too.
Well, there you are. Well, I think that Friends, when you said about it being warmth, Rennie, it's very similar to perhaps some of the feeling from something like Cheers, where
Yeah.
you just want to sit and have a coffee with them, and you really felt that they all really did truly care together. I mean, sorry, care for each other. Though literally, some of them, they all became lovers. Just about everyone except Phoebe. Phoebe ended up with Ant-Man.
I know, which is weird, right? Because you always thought because Phoebe and Joey were kind of the dingy ones,
Mhm.
even though Phoebe did show some intelligence from time to time, you always thought that they would be together. But I think they kind of hinted that they hooked up, but they never really, never
Mhm.
really got together. But it's like, but they would be perfect because they're both like, they're both a little ditzy, so.
Yeah. Well, I
Yeah,
also
and they had a heck of a lot of well-known guest stars. You know, Tom Selleck, Bruce Willis,
Brad
Jean-Claude Van
Pitt.
Damme was in an episode.
yeah. Sirius Black. Gosh darn it, I can't remember anyone's real
Gary
name.
Oldman.
Yeah, Gary Oldman. He was at the officiant at the wedding, I believe, because he kept spitting. Remember?
Oh, he played an actor that Joey had to be on set with, and he kept spitting, and he's like, "Why do you keep spitting on me?" "Oh no, that's on purpose. It's an acting thing." He's like, "What?" So he starts doing
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. Well, they do expectorate, especially if they're singing involved. But yeah, there was those things, and I remember the thing about Monica and Chandler. It snuck up on us that it was. I remember never expecting anything like that, or even thinking there was anything romantic going on between them. But then at the wedding in London, they were feeling a little sorry for themselves, and they hooked up, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, that's perfect." And I saw some
Yeah.
behind the scenes stuff where they said that the response was so big, they were like, "Oh, let's keep this up." That it was supposed to be a one-off thing, just as a joke that, oh, they hooked up in London, but they kept it going. And that also shows another thing is that they were willing to be organic
Yeah.
with what was going on.
It's one of those things you never expected it, but when it happened, it was like, why didn't I think of this before? They're perfect as a couple.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and it had the theme song. We all would sing it and clap. And I had the extended version of the song. I bought it back when you would actually buy on a cassette a
Oh,
single.
wow.
Yeah, I had that. Of
Who is
a
it? The
friend.
Rembrandts that sang the song?
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Well, Steve said so. Yeah. So, Steve, is this something that you have in the private chat that is from friends?
No,
Oh.
it's a Gary Oldman thing.
Oh, okay. Got you. Okay.
It's
Never mind.
highly amusing. You should play it.
Oh, you want me to play it right now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get that set up, and you keep going, Rennie. About like, what's your favorite episode or moment, maybe from?
Oh my gosh, that's so hard. I think whenever okay, so it was the show and I forget what the title was, but they all started with the one. But I think it was the one where everybody finds out about Monica and Chandler and they all play play each other to see who's going to break first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know they know and we know, but do they? I don't think they know that we know that they know, and they just
Yeah.
kept going back and forth. And finally, Chandler breaks and says, I can't, because Phoebe tries to tempt him into hooking up or to doing something and she knows he won't, but she keeps trying to break him. And Monica's like, no, we're going to win this. And finally he says, no, I can't do this because I'm in love with Monica. And it was just so cute. So it was really funny, all the shenanigans, but it was really cute because he really loved her. So.
Oh. Well, and another thing that became something we talked about in my family is the whole Little Women. When Joey read Little Women.
Oh, and he put it in the freezer.
He had to put it in the freezer because he didn't like books that upset him. And when it turned out that Beth was he realized Beth was sick. He's like, is she going to make it? And all that. And I don't know if you've ever read Little Women, but every single time I bawl and bawl. It's one of the saddest things ever. And every movie adaptation, no matter what it is, when Beth dies, it is so sad. And the fact that they wrote that into it.
Yeah, it was cute because, I think his favorite book was The Shining, and Rachel's favorite book was Little Women. So they decided to swap off and read each other's books. And he said something because he had The Shining in the freezer, and Rachel's like, "Why did you do that?" Because it got to a really, scary or sad part, and so he winds up doing it with Little Women, which is really cute.
Yeah, Steve should read Little Women.
Well, now I know that Betsy dies. So.
No, not
Betsy.
Beth dies, but there's more that happens in it than Beth dying.
Okay. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Well, and remember, Joey was like, he was thinking it was a book about literally Little Women.
Yeah.
Height-wise. He's like, what's interesting about that?
Yeah. Well, and of course, pivot.
Oh my God, yes. Pivot.
Yeah, the blooper for that one is pretty great.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Oh yeah, they're all cracking up. That's the thing.
Yeah, Schwimmer's almost pissing himself, and he's still trying to scream the lines.
Yeah.
I love when Chandler's like, shut up.
Every time we move furniture in my family, that's what everyone yells, pivot. Oh boy! Oh, Tyrone spoilers! Come on! The book was written in 1866. Come on!
Best episode was when Ross was trying on leather pants.
Oh my God! And
someone tricked him to put flour and water or something kind of shit.
Yeah, and he wound up creating a paste.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I'm not a fan of Ross, but I did like that episode where somebody stole his sandwich at work and he went totally mental. Did you guys see that episode?
Well,
my sandwich.
It was his sandwich.
Yeah. And hey, there's nothing worse than being hangry and being your break's coming up, you're ready for your sandwich, and
but it was pretty bad. And he just looked like he pulled off like the psychotic moments pretty well in that episode.
Yeah. Well, and I liked the fact that they acknowledged that people like him and Rachel were actually terrible human beings.
Yeah.
And when Rachel was going to London and was telling the dude next to her all about it, and then House was there. That was before he was a big actor. He was the actor. He goes, "You were on a break, and by the way, you are a horrible, horrible woman."
The guy who plays House was a big actor before that because he was on Blackadder.
Okay, that's true. He wasn't necessarily known in America. How's that?
Yeah, same as with grammar and English.
I know. I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
Well, he was also in Sense and Sensibility. But the point is, and then he was like, "And you are a horrible, horrible woman."
I did love that, and he's like, yeah, his tone when he was like, "And by the way, you were on a break." He just puts his headphones on and just washes his hands of her. And
yeah, they were. Aniston was a twat in that situation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she was a terrible, terrible human being. Well, and the fact that Ross just kept getting married and getting divorced.
Oh my God. What did they call him? The divorcer or divorco or whatever?
Oh boy. Yeah, no, it was fun. It was fun. And there were also some very moving, genuinely moving moments. I actually cried at the end of one episode where Phoebe had the triplets.
Oh, yeah.
And then she was thinking, maybe I can keep one. And she was doing it for her brother. And then she realizes, no, she can't keep the babies. And then one of the babies started to cry, and she goes, "Well, okay, if you're going to cry, then I'll cry too." Oh gosh, Niagara Falls. It was so
that
moving.
Reminds me of something.
Oh.
Yes, it's a limerick about triplets.
Oh no! You see,
yeah, it's. Do you want to hear it?
It's well, okay. Will it immediately get my channel nuked from orbit?
No.
Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Yeah, there once was a woman who was quite begat. She had 3 babies named Nat, Pat, and Tat. She said it was fun in the breeding, but found it was hell in the feeding when she saw that there was no tit for Tat.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand that.
3 babies, 2 tits. One of the babies was named Tat. No tit for Tat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. That's not so bad then, or is it?
It's cute.
Okay.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a lot worse. Sorry.
I was afraid.
A lot more in the gutter, so to speak. Yeah.
Whenever I hear the word limerick with steak. Oh no. Okay. Anything else you want to say, Rennie, about Friends before we move on?
Yeah, just basically you know, I can still watch it, kind of like Seinfeld. It's still relevant to me, and I know like technologically it's not quite as advanced, but you know, there are still some really really funny moments and some really great heartwarming moments as well. And yeah, to this day, every time I see the last episode where they all leave the apartment, I kind of shed a tear if I watch that episode.
You know what? I'm going to be honest. I think Friends is overrated.
I mean, a lot of men feel that way. I'll be real honest with you. I think that a lot of women like the show, but a lot of men don't really care for the show that much.
Yeah, it's not bad or anything. It's just I never felt it was that great. I thought Seinfeld was way better.
You know what's the weird thing is? My mom is the one that actually got me into that show. She's like, "You need to watch this show. It's a good show." I'm like, "No, it looks stupid." And I start watching it. I'm like, "Okay, I like it." But
Yeah.
yeah, I just like to this day, if I see reruns of it or whatever, or I forget that it's an HBO Max, as well. But I want to say TBS plays it all the time as well.
Mhm.
So, if it's on, then I'll just kind of do like with that 70s show and put it on in the background and just, do things while I'm listening to the show or, whatever. So,
You know what annoys the hell out of me? Yeah,
Ross?
when
No.
they did that anniversary thing last year.
Yeah, I actually watched that.
Yeah.
Why the
I did too.
fuck was Lady Gaga in it?
Oh,
That was stupid. I didn't get that either.
they had all
What was
these
the
just
point?
celebrity people. That's what it was.
She just
But
paid to be there.
they just distracted or detracted from the actual cast by like oh look who's here. It's like
Yeah,
I don't
and
really
I'm like,
care.
I don't give a
Exactly.
shit if the actor who played Jon Snow used to watch Friends on the airplane.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No, I hear you. The parts where it actually had the cast doing things, it was good. But yeah,
Yeah.
and they did a stupid fashion show, and
Yeah, that was
yeah, that
dumb
was
too.
yeah. Oh, and the what's his name, James Corden. Yeah,
uh,
there you go. Why do they keep putting him into stuff like that?
I
You
don't
yeah,
know,
know. Like, don't get me wrong. I think like, sometimes he can be kind of funny, but just let him do his own thing?
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Let him just put him in a catapult and launch him somewhere.
Oh my god.
yeah. Well, that's the thing, and he's everywhere. That's also what's annoying. It's like, will you just go away?
Like I used to think it was really cute whenever he would show up on the little crosswalks. Do you guys remember he would do like these
Oh,
little like Disney show tune songs in crosswalks of streets with the crowd of
yeah, I
people?
hate that
I
stupid
used to think
stuff.
it was really cute and funny, and now I'm like, okay, it's not funny
Yeah.
anymore.
No, it's annoying.
Yeah, but I used
Yeah,
to think it was funny before it was way played out.
yeah. People never know when to stop. Well, okay then. Well, that is Friends. That is Friends. Now, my final pick for the double pick is the classic All in the Family. Oh, and I didn't do a space there, so I need to fix that. All in the Family was a sitcom in the 70s about this character, Archie Bunker, who is a racist, a sexist, and just out everything offensive. But it, he wasn't a horrible person. And part of what they were doing with this show was showing the absurd with the absurd. But the race the way he dealt with racial stereotypes of like there was a scene when Sammy Davis Jr. was there and he drank out of a cup and then his cup and then Archie Bunker was going to go drink out of it and he like put it down. Just things like that. It was showing the absurdity of racism without necessarily being preachy. And he had this daughter who was this bleeding heart, and her husband was Rob Reiner, who he called Meathead, who, gosh, actually hasn't changed much in 40 years. The actor who played him, but always just spouting all these, what do you call it? Just so superior to everyone and preaching everywhere, and he was just a total pain in the ass. And then there was Edith, who she had that obnoxious voice and Archie and all that, but she also was a really good character and was always trying to kind of keep peace in the house. That was also where we got the Jeffersons from. The Jeffersons were neighbors that moved into his neighborhood, and of course he was all concerned about that. And they later did the spinoff show, The Jeffersons. And yeah, it was loads of fun. I think it ran for 8 seasons. And then eventually they killed off Edith. I think they did when he did a spinoff called Archie Bunker's Place.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, it was a classic. And even to this day, I sit and roar laughing. Even though it's terrible, even though it's absolutely terrible what he's doing. But I don't know. Did you ever watch that, Rennie?
Yes, I did. I did watch it with my parents when I was really, really young. I want to say, the Jeffersons was a spinoff
Yes.
of All in the Family. So I enjoyed the Jeffersons a lot more, but
Mhm.
I enjoy I did enjoy the sarcasm and, the blatant, exploiting of, certain, things that were going on during, even though, a lot of equality and rights and all that had been kind of given to people, it's still, the attitudes were still there, and that show kind of exploited it, but they did it with humor and it was
Mhm.
cute, and I've never liked Rob Reiner, so I loved whenever Archie would insult
Yes.
Rob Reiner's character. But yeah, I would always die laughing because, like, and then his daughter, I think her was Gloria, but it was, yeah.
Yes. Gloria.
And she would always like, Dad, and it was just so funny. Like, she'd always get upset whenever he'd like insult. I want to say his name was it Mike on the show?
I don't know his real name. I just called him Meathead.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we know him as, right? Because that's what he called him all the time. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And then it was nice to see, even though he kind of, spat some venom at the Jeffersons at some certain times that we get along and did kind of team up together and all that stuff. So that was pretty cute as well.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people nowadays wouldn't find it as funny and, not get the humor of it, because it was meant to be funny. It was meant to be a satire. It was not meant as a message of hate or anything like that. It was meant to show how hateful people were being at the time. And,
Oh, people don't get satire today, so yeah.
No, they really don't.
Yeah, they
and
would be
it's a
all
shame.
triggered by it. Yeah.
Exactly. So, you can't get away with that nowadays, and that's what makes it a great show.
Yeah. Well, and as I said, the one of the best examples of showing the absurd with the absurd and being very entertaining at the same time. I mean, he was terrible. He used to call his wife Dingbat.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Potato Revan says, laugh out loud when I imagine Rennie being old. I imagine her as Sophia from the Golden Girls. Well,
Thank you.
I think, yeah. All right. Yellow Hound. Steve, did you ever watch All in the Family?
Nope.
Oh,
really?
Well, okay. Never seen a single episode. Don't know what it is.
I see you being, and I don't mean this in any sort of way, but like kind of like Archie Bunker, where you don't take shit from anyone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm surprised you haven't seen it.
Why should I take shit from anyone when I have shit from my own?
Oh, yeah.
That's a philosophical thing.
That would make you very shitty.
Yeah, you and Socrates there, Plato. Yeah. No, if you haven't watched...
Too much on my Plato.
Oh. Oh, well, and this is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. But when the Jeffersons moved in, and Edith and all them were like, it's not such a big deal. Nobody cares. And he's like, they're going to care when the watermelon rinds start flying out the window. And
dear.
I know. It's so, and you're like, what? First of all, that's absurd. It's like they're sitting around throwing them out. Yeah.
No.
But yeah, that was one of the things. Again, some of the absurd things. The Sammy Davis Jr. one was also a classic. And just good stuff. I really enjoy it. Okay, we're going to do a quick rundown of the double picks from people in the chat, and I have not forgotten, Steve. Don't worry about the video. I will get to that.
I'm not worried. Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's never mind then. Okay, I was being nice.
I know.
I could tell you were worried.
You were being nice, and I was being not worried.
Okay, let's look at the double picks from the chat here. Double picks. Mork and Mindy.
Oh, okay. Nice.
I remember Mork and Mindy.
Yeah. And we had
Hey, question: did any of you watch one called The Dear John?
Yes, with
Mhm.
what's his face from Taxi.
yes.
Yeah, that one was an awesome show.
Mhm.
I actually did like Dear John. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, and it's not about deers; it's about a letter. He got he got dumped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nope, that was a good one. Yeah. And see, OBG70, he has his double pick is News Radio, which gave Joe Rogan a start. Oh, I never watched that actually.
Yeah,
And
David Spade was in it, and I want to say Phil Hartman before he passed.
oh, may he rest in peace.
Uh, Titus was another good one,
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That was
and
a really funny show on Vox.
Martin.
Oh,
Martin was
yeah.
better. Martin was better than Fresh Prince.
Ah,
Really? I disagree with that, but to each his own. I really had a soft spot for Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But did you guys ever see Everybody Hates Chris?
No,
can't
Really?
stand
It
it.
was pretty funny. It was like, yeah, it was like basically about kind of Chris Rock's childhood, so to speak. And I think that's where Terry Crews really got noticed.
Oh,
Was
well,
Everybody Hates Chris?
well, there
oh,
you go.
Sledgehammer was another good one. It's basically a Dirty Harry ish
Oh, I never.
comedy. Guy with
Hmm.
a cop with a big gun.
Hmm.
Used it to solve most problems.
Oh,
I
back in the
imagine
good old,
so.
yeah. Okay, and then OBG70s is his second one is Third Rock from the Sun. Oh yeah, that
Oh,
was loads of
nice.
fun. Yeah, I love that one.
You you'd feel that one should be the third pick, wouldn't you?
Oh, yes, Stieg. The aliens and no, that was a great cast. It was great.
Lithgow was
John
awesome in it.
Lithgow. Yes,
Yeah.
I love him. Great cast. Snortopupus's ones were Yes Minster, Yes Prime Minister, and the 1964 Adams Family. Ah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
the original Adams Family. Yes. Jack Lumen says 2.5 Men.
Before Ashton Kutcher, I'll agree. Because
Yeah,
Charlie Sheen made that show.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it wasn't the
yeah.
same. Okay, and we have Keck 44 MASH. Yes, that was the best sitcom in my opinion based on a movie that was amazing show. Oh gosh, it was also very sad but very good. And Soap, I
Oh,
loved Soap.
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
oh shit! I forgot about one. Uh, Son of the Beach. It's a
Oh,
Baywatch spoof. Uh,
oh
Oh.
yeah.
yeah, it would not fly today. One of the characters' name is BJ Cummings, and the main character is Notch Johnson. They have a German bodybuilder called Chip Rummel
Oh
who
yeah, and
he says a lot of things that would not fly today.
he would like
Uh,
let Nazi stuff like
oh
accidentally
yeah,
come out.
yeah. He was converting to to Judaism because he was going to marry a Jewish girl, and he just said, "If my grandfather knew I was a Jew, he would kill me."
Oh god.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, they said stuff like that, and they had a coctopus, which was a sea monster, showed up. It was a guy in a suit, really, with a bunch of dildos on him, and kidnapped girls.
Oh.
There was a giant chicken, like King Kong sized. You can watch the episodes on YouTube, actually.
Hmm.
Oh, well, you heard it here first.
It was
Yeah, you've
satire.
told me about
It
that.
was satire as hell.
Yeah,
It
you don't
really
take
was.
it seriously. Yeah.
No. It was definitely not done to harm anyone. I mean, Mark Hamill was in it quite a few times too,
Oh.
Really?
and Gilbert Gottfried, and yeah.
Okay, well there you
Hmm.
go. And yes, what I liked Keck's second choice here, the Soap. Did you ever watch that, Rennie? Or well, probably
Yeah.
Steve didn't. Yeah, it was
It
hilarious
was
because
funny.
because the plot's based on soap operas, and a lot of actors got their start with Soap. Lady Toriel says Black Adder.
Yes, I have that on DVD.
Mm-hmm. That's a classic. We have from Book of Soul Assassin, Married with Children, The
Oh,
Simpsons.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you get those shows
Oh.
in Norway, Steve?
We did, but my family didn't have that channel, so
Oh.
I've never watched it.
Did you guys
I
know?
had
Sorry,
I had a
Steve.
video game, and I had seen a couple of episodes at friends' places, but never watched The Simpsons really.
Okay,
Really?
There we go.
I mean, it was great until like maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah. And Married
Did
with
you?
Children's a classic of just, just some
Oh my
really
God,
adorable
yeah.
people.
South Park deserves a mention, though.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
yes. At South Park. We'll get back to that in a second. This is my last starred one here. Keeping Up Appearances, Dadman Walking says. And if there are other chats, let's see. So, yeah, what do you want to say about South Park, Steve?
It's awesome. They definitely try to offend, though.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but it's done well. It's actually well written, and it puts things on the point. You know,
If you guys can find episodes 200 and 201 anywhere, highly recommend watching them because you cannot find them on a streaming service. And I actually have them on physical media. And Comedy
the one
Central.
where they pissed off a certain group.
Yes, by talking about their leader, but they forget that they actually showed this religious figure on the episode Super Best Friends in season 5. And so yeah, it made a lot of people mad. So it's hard to find. You can't find Super Best Friends. You can't find 200 or 201 on streaming services. And I am very happy that I decided to buy the seasons. And I feel like Trey and Matt feel like everyone is fair game. Doesn't matter who, what, whatever. They don't hold back. They don't choose to just pick on one or two sets of people. They pick on everybody, and it's fair all around.
And this is me and others have been saying this a lot. Get the shows and movies you love on physical media.
Yes.
Because eventually they will be edited for streaming services. They removed jokes from Seinfeld episodes now, and they removed Daryl Hannah's ass from Splash.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that was offensive. I didn't even remember her ass being in it.
No, you just remember her being a mermaid,
Yeah.
I know a lot of boys that came of age around that time that remembered her ass and were very outraged that her ass was taken out. Well, they took out Donald Trump from Home Alone 2.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
One channel did it.
Yeah. So
in Canada.
Yeah. So be sure to get these physically. We have Home Improvement from Dan Blackroyd. That is also one. Golden Girls and Murdoch Mysteries from Potato Revan.
Nice.
Let's see. Oh, wait, that's another comment. Always Home Improvement. Steve Nolan says he remembers Everyone Hates Chris.
Nobody has mentioned Married with Children.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did.
They did. My bad.
Yeah.
Someone's not paying attention.
Yeah, I was probably doing something more important.
Rude.
Oh my gosh. Father Ted. Yes, Father Ted. Oh my gosh. That is one of the funniest shows ever. And if you understand the Irish, it's okay. But I had a friend, she was horrified. And I went, no, that's just the way Irish humor is. It's about some 3 priests that were living on an island and they were like misfits and heavy drinkers. They cussed a lot, but they were realistic actually. I was like, I can relate to these guys. I know priests like this, and it really is. It's hilarious. It is hilarious. Let me see. Did any other people throw in some the Munsters? Okay. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Of rich humor. Tyrone has for all of us foreigners, check out two Aussie shows: the Mr. In Between and Glitch. Okay.
The Aussies has made one of the best dark comedies ever made. It's called Bad Boy Bobby.
Yeah, he keeps trying to get me to watch that.
Yeah, watch it.
Oh,
Yeah. You're a terrible fiance if you don't watch it.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you. Honorable mention as an Aussie show review with Miles Barlow is pretty freaking funny.
Mhm.
So this guy is a guy that, he pulls it off with a serious face, but he reviews mundane things or just everyday things. And it's pretty funny. There's a show where he talks about murder, and it's pretty funny. I know it sounds really dark, but it's actually really, really funny. So.
Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, Potato Reverend says, "Alpha Alpha, I'm Arsh. Ha ha ha. Father Ted is mandatory in getting citizenship here." Yes. Okay. You understand. It's not offensive. It's hilarious. I quote it all the time. One of my favorite episodes is the priest has another priest show up who is like the guest from hell. He's one of those guests that just show up that don't talk and just kind of stare. And he kept praying to Mother Mary and saying, please make him go away. And then you see him later, he's tearing his beads apart. I mean, it's terrible, but it's hilarious. And he's in the bathtub, and the guy's like, "I need to use the toilet." Just a nightmare guest. That's one of my favorite ones. It's a funny show.
But Tyrone is quoting Bad Boy Bobby now.
Okay, cat be still. Well called.
Why cat no gas mask?
Oh no. Okay, well, we're going to be wrapping this up, but let's show a video that Stieg wanted to share. Truth bombs from Jerry Oldman.
Gary Oldman, not Jerry.
I was like, is that a parody of Gary Oldman?
What the shit?
I am so sorry.
It's his younger brother, Jerry. No.
Oh my gosh, I'm a terrible, terrible, terrible human being.
No.
All right. Let me see if I can share this here. Video slide, share screen, Chrome tab, share audio. Fudge. How do I do this? Oh, here it is. And I think we're safe. Okay, so we got some truth bombs from Gary Oldman.
Hi, I'm Gary Oldman, actor. Some of you may know me from such films as Dracula, Air Force One, and Kung Fu Panda 2. Now, just as a professional basketball player spends hours on the court, mastering every aspect of his game, I, Gary Oldman, studied acting for many years to perfect my craft. And just as I, Gary Oldman, actor, would never try and join an NBA team just because I'm famous, I, Gary Oldman, would very much appreciate it if professional basketball players would stay the out of movies! You the director on your Powerade commercial! Actors, some of you can't even speak English!
Oh my God!
You suck! You see how I did that? That's called acting. Do you feel the emotion? I can do that. You can. That's what I mean.
Is this a Saturday Night Live clip?
That is great. That's awesome. But it's true. And I would also say that they also should shut up and, as they say, shut up and dribble instead of giving us, lessons and lectures.
So funny. I could swear that was a Saturday Night Live clip because I actually saw that episode, I want to say. It's so funny. I forgot how funny
I don't know.
it was.
I just put it on my channel and I got away with it.
Yeah,
I can't believe
away
you
with
did.
everything.
Yeah.
You get away with like posting a lot of stuff like commercials and stuff. I'm like, I'm surprised.
Oh,
they
I
don't
have
say
a full
anything.
movies and cartoon episodes and yeah.
Yeah. Like you even posted like something from Family Guy the other day, right?
Oh no, that was
The James Cameron thing?
ages ago.
I thought you just did it.
No, I just saw
Okay.
it and put it in the humor chat thing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, Steve has had a few things being taken down.
Uh,
You tried. I remember you told me that. Like you tried.
I had to
upload
remove
some.
a Star Wars commercial
Yeah.
because
Really?
someone claimed I had taken it from their channel, which I did.
Well, at least you didn't lie about it, so that's good.
Yeah, no, I took it down.
Oh.
Got an email
no.
saying this is my commercial. I uploaded it from VHS. And I'm like, okay, so I'll take it down then.
I like the accountability. That's a good quality
Yeah.
to have.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I did it, so what?
I'm not looking to make money from it anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. The bastardos. You know what? I know that Angel, when you're asking about a raid, I don't know who to raid. So we're not going to raid anybody. We're going to be selfish SOBs because that's just how I roll
Just
here.
raid your wife.
Oh my
Oh my gosh!
Tear that shit up. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just
Wow.
Sorry.
Well, that just got interesting. You know, to each their own. To each their own.
yeah, raid your own wife.
Yeah.
Don't go next door.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah. Well, no one likes that. Yeah. We son of a biatch. All right. Oh, what can I say to that? Well, Stieg, where can we find you? Where can we find you?
Right here with you two and other people on Saturdays for the Lord of the Rings talk, and we're nearing the end of the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
Thursdays on OG Star Wars' channel for the coffee chat where we talk about Star Wars comics, and Wednesdays I'm on with Mara, Jade Shadow, that's her channel now, where we talk about the 3 or 4 cringiest things in pop culture during the last week. It's difficult finding only 3 or 4 things because it's getting worse and worse and worse. And sometimes I physically hurt after those streams because it's so fucking dumb out there.
Wow.
You heard it here first. Yeah. So if I could have if one of my mods could put Jade Shadow channel or OG Star Wars in there, I'd definitely appreciate it. I love you mods. I've been seeing you working throughout the stream. I do appreciate you, and I love my mods.
I have a channel too with clips of Gary Oldman and other things.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you have a channel. Yeah. Well, actually, Ancient One's already put your link out there.
Stuff I don't own whatsoever.
I don't know where you find some of these commercials, but it's hilarious.
I have Archie cartoons as well.
Mm-hmm.
And a He-Man episode. What else do I have?
You have the dragon cartoon thing, right?
Oh yeah, the Dragonlance cartoon or animated movie. That's there, and a war movie with Glenn Ford and Jason Connery. It was Sean Connery's son.
Oh, well, there
Very
you are.
good. Yeah, that's on there.
Yeah, so watch Steve's channel. He somehow keeps getting subs even though he doesn't do anything. It's amazing. It makes people pissed. So go and sub to him some more.
Then you'll have to do another top 5 video.
You don't have to do another top 5, Steve.
People who keep doing that ends up on my top 5.
I know better. I know better than to do that. Okay, let's move over to Rennie. Rennie, where can we find you?
This coming Thursday on Potato Revan's channel. I believe he wants to talk about some Star Trek stuff, which I'm not super knowledgeable, but really, really cool channel and very, very nice guy. And then this Saturday on I believe your channel, if we're still talking about Lord of the Rings on Saturday morning. And then Mr. Brown Alliance, we're going to be talking about Rocky 4, the director's cut. So I'll be watching that for the first time. I just bought it on Vudu, so I'm really excited because I love Rocky.
Speaking of voodoo dolls, Matt Wilkins is in the
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, I cried so hard in the director's cut. It is so good.
Girl, I love Rocky, so I'm really looking forward to it. It just took me forever to find it at a decent price and get it on a platform that I have. So I'm really excited about seeing it and talking about it. So yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, the Apollo and Drago fight was extra brutal in this.
Oh man, that's what I keep hearing. So I think that part's going to be tough for me, but I'm still really psyched about it.
The payoff is that in the final fight, Rocky beats the living daylights out of Drago.
Yeah, it's a lot
Really?
more violent. Yeah.
He beats the fuck out of him.
Ooh,
Yeah.
now that sounds fun.
Yeah. Well, and they have like an extended funeral scene for Apollo. Oh, I'm not going to spoil it, but oh gosh,
You know
really
what?
good stuff.
Watch Creed 2 right after.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Creed. I love Creed.
I actually liked the first Creed. I just haven't seen the second one.
Oh, it ties into Rocky 4.
So
Does
watch it right after Rocky 4.
Yeah, it has Drago in it.
Yes.
okay.
It's all about Drago and his son.
Yeah.
Girl. Okay, yeah. Well, that'll be a discussion for another day. And actually, I'll need to talk to you, Rennie, about this a little bit later. But Matt Wilkins says we need more Rennie on this channel and less Steeg. Oh my gosh.
See, it turned on me right away, the bastard. You don't know Rennie. How can you say this, Mr. Wilkins, if that is indeed your name?
Look, Hound's being nice. He says we need more Steeg and Rennie. More Steeg and Rennie. So, and of course, you can find me here on Miss Martin Muses, where I talk about what makes me laugh, makes me cry, makes me happy, makes me sad, or just really ticks me off. This week, I'm going to be doing for the triple review with Maury and Eddie, and I believe Steeg is going to be joining us. We're going to be talking about the Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3.
I'm a maybe for that one because it depends on sleep.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. I should say, and an if awake Steeg, if awake Steeg. But
If
for
I'm
sure,
awake, I will wax on.
Wax off.
Nice.
Norwegians never wax off on YouTube.
I just realized what I said.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so either way, okay, yeah. Usually Steeg has a bit of an asterisk there because, the dude lives in the future. He needs his beauty sleep. So we have that tomorrow. Then on Thursday night, it is going to be our first Thursday Once Upon a Time discussion, season 3, with Biggles Mets and My Nerdy Home. We will be discussing season 3 of Once Upon a Time. Also, we will be having on Saturday our Return of the King, as we have already said. We are going to be doing the Battle of Plitter Fields, one of the best chapters ever, and ever. So, oh my gosh, people are being really naughty. After he waxes off, and then they're like, ha, ha, ha. Oh, yeah, and then people give Biggles a hard time. It's an ongoing joke, and I think, is that it? Oh yeah, and next Monday for the double pick, so you all can start double picking if you want to, is going to be video games.
I think one of those jokes, though, will be too much for Biggles to swallow. I mean...
Oh! Hey, wait a second. Wait, I have a rule: you can't make fun of people when they're not here. So.
Oh, I thought he was here. My bad.
No, Dan Blackwright, because I said Biggles. Yeah, no, it's okay.
I thought he was in there. Sorry.
Oh, in there. Yeah, no, it's good, and he's got a fine sense of humor, and actually, Biggles makes fun of other people who aren't there as well. But just in general, I always give a disclaimer because no. I'm not even sure how this all started. It has something to do with, is it Linden? Was it something with Linden? I don't know what the hell.
I don't know.
Some of these inside joke. Oh, Matt. Matt Wilkins. Steeg punching down on Biggles. Tut, tut.
Okay.
Dan Blackwright. I have no problem making fun of Biggles when he is in here.
Oh no.
Now, these guys are all friends, and that's why ultimately it's okay. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this double pick. I hope that maybe you found some sitcoms that you might not have known about that you want to look into, or perhaps been inspired to go back and revisit some old favorites. So thank you to my...
and hopefully we provided more content than what you'll find in Matt Wilkins' codpiece.
Wow. The views and opinions and statements of the guests on Miss Martin Muses do not necessarily reflect the views, the opinions, and the statements of Miss Martin Muses. Matt Wilkins says, Teresa, if you don't want Steeg on your future streams, I'll happily take his place.
Sure. I mean, Peter Dinklage has been, wanting mental midgets to be represented. So why not? I'll gladly give up my seat on the small bus for you.
Poor Matt.
Wow. Okay, I'm trying to wrap this up here. Okay. Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great evening.
Except Wilkins, of course.
Wait, right.
Have a great evening, everyone. Have a great evening, and be certain
not to sniff glue that you're given by Wilkins.
Damn it. Good night.